Oh, welcome to sunny Florida. Gee,
Look at that.
it's been raining for 3 weeks now.
Oh, we're going to do that. We'll do it in here, okay?
Did you bring in the stack of recipes?
Yeah, I'm handing them out.
Oh, you are already?
No, you don't want them handed out?
No, I do.
Yeah.
You're way ahead of me. Great.
Okay, where's the outlet for this?
Right here.
Oh, we have to
There's
just...
a problem
No, it isn't. Why is it a problem?
because we're going to need this too.
Why?
Oh, we're not. Oh, no, that's why
No,
we're
we
using
won't
this.
need it.
We
No,
won't
we
need
won't
that.
need it.
All right, here we go.
Three and a half quarts mix.
Jack, you got us up?
Good to go, Steve.
Okay, thank you. I'm not going to need that. Okay. Spencer's Pudding Ice Cream is named after one of my customers, Mr. Spencer. This is a family recipe, and he wanted to make it. He made it for his step-grandfather a few weeks ago, and they said, boy, you ought to turn that into an ice cream. And he was going to be here to demonstrate it, but the weather scared him off because we haven't been sunny Florida for 3 weeks now.
Bananas and Cool Whip.
Bananas. And so we're going to make it in his stead, and we're going to use bananas and Cool Whip and Philadelphia cream cheese and all sorts of good stuff.
What we thought we would do is, since we're winging it, we thought we would mix this in here, make it a little easier, and see what happens. If it doesn't mix up, then we'll go to plan B.
We break for lunch.
Right. Come up with another flavor.
Yeah. We've had
All
to
right.
do that sometimes.
So in order to get these things together, let's put a little mix in here. Now let's put all the mix in here. That's 3.5 quarts. And the cream cheese.
This is our CB350. This makes half a tub in about 8 minutes. So if you were doing ice creams with this, you would make, say, a half a tub of this product, put in the freezer, reload it, make another half tub. 8 minutes later, pull that out of the freezer and just put it on top. 8 minutes, there's not going to be any difference. There wouldn't be any difference for an hour or more. So we can produce a tub, let's say, with loading and unloading in about 20 minutes. So 3 tubs an hour, that's 9 gallons an hour that you could make on this machine.
We didn't think about this yesterday, did we? Right? Might have been a little easier to work with. We went with, to make the s'mores, we decided on marshmallow fluff. That's like plastic concrete. It's awful stuff. Too thin, too thin. How does it taste? I have no idea. I never ate this. Let's see how it tastes. What is it supposed to be? Cool Whip, what? It wouldn't work. It's much too light. There's nothing there. So we have, how about the bananas?
We'll add them into the machine, won't we?
Right. Okay, so we have the mix, the Cool Whip, and the cream cheese in here. We
Okay.
need sugar. That'll help grind this up, too.
Yes, there's sugar right there.
1 cup of
At least a
sugar.
cup.
At least a cup.
Yeah.
At least a cup. Let's pour it all in.
Hey, Jeff, you want to give these out for lunch?
How many do I have?
You have a bag full.
Okay.
You got to take them home?
That was when I made Cinnabon ice cream.
Yes, it was delicious. Now, I came up with 2 terms for using ingredients, what I call fruit flavor and fruit identity. Here I'm going to take Nilla wafers and I'm going to drop them right into the machine. It's going to grind them up. And if I was blindfolded and tasted, you'd say, yeah, I can taste the Nilla wafers, or Oreo cookies, or mint chips, anything that goes in the machine, it will give it the flavor. But we also eat with our eyes. So you're looking at strawberry ice cream and you put in the bigger machine a quart of strawberries in, it grinds it up, it's this beautiful pink color, but you look at it and you can't see any pieces. So my second quart of strawberries, I add it as it's coming out. So I have the fruit flavor in the machine, yep, that's strawberry, and I have the identity, what I can see in the tub when I'm scooping the ice cream. You can't do that with any other machine because you can't put stuff into it. You can only put liquids in. Their barrels are so thin that you'll risk denting the barrel. The opening is that little as opposed to that big. So we were, and we're much, much stronger and heavier. So we were designed to put stuff in. And the beauty of putting stuff into the machine is for every particle of dairy, I now have a particle of chocolate chip cookie. So my flavor will be much more intense. When you buy commercial ice cream, I belong to a group called Ice Cream Folks. It's a blog. And the gentleman was thinking of going from batch freezers to what's called a continuous freezer. We put Haagen-Dazs in business, we put Ben & Jerry in business, Breyers, Bluebell, Hershey. They all began with batch freezers, and then they get up to about 400,000 gallons a year, and they go to a $100,000 machine that's a little narrow tube, and it just spits out ice cream, vanilla, at 1,000 gallons an hour. And then you spend another 40,000 to inject the flavor into it. So Haagen-Dazs, as good as it is, and started on our machines, will always be vanilla ice cream with flavor injected into it. So as opposed to batch method, where every particle of the dairy is next to a particle
Where are you
of
going
flavor.
with this? Which one?
We're going into the CB350.
Okay,
Let me
put
just.
something under there.
Okay. You don't trust me, huh?
Nope, not a bit.
All right.
We good?
This is the 6 quart. Yeah, the
We good?
CB350. We're good.
Okay.
Oh, you already put the oh, no.
What?
We're going to add the cookies, right?
After, right?
Yeah.
I put a bunch in already.
You put them in, okay. Now, Jeff already poured them into the mix. I could have just, fed them into the machine, but the net effect's the same. The opening is so big that we can get everything in there quite easily, which is a real plus. And the barrel is so thick that we welcome you to throw anything in there you want, except for metal spoons. They don't work.
This is going to be good.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Fire away.
All right, I'm going to run this at homemade. Do I need any vanilla in there?
Couldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would put some
couldn't hurt.
vanilla in.
What do you got, 3.5 quarts of the mix?
Yes. We're adding some vanilla extract, so if you want to put that on the recipe, you can. Where'd you put it? About, whoa.
3.5.
I forgot. It's my vanilla. 3.5 ounces?
Yeah, when was the last time you paid for vanilla?
Yeah, never. Vanilla, well, we'll get this started, and then we'll talk about vanilla for a second. So we're going to run this at homemade. And then we're going to start the refrigeration. Is that homemade? It sounds slow.
So why not have this?
No, you don't have. I don't know what you picked. Homemade is up there. Start 234. Okay.
And
Turn on the refrigeration. I know Jeff's blocking
Aye,
you, but
Captain.
he just turned on the beater for homemade and then turned on the refrigeration. And I'm going to set a clock on it just as an approximation. I set them for about
the
7
bananas.
minutes.
The bananas.
Bananas, the best part. Now don't try this with any other batch freezer. A father called me up and he said, I do the babysitting for my 2 sons on weekends so that my wife can get out. And he said, and we raised our kids on Sesame Street. We just plunked them down in front of the TV and let them go for hours. Well, he's using my Emery Thompson videos to entertain the kids. And he said he walked by one time and I was feeding bananas into the machine, and the 6-year-old says to the 3-year-old, "Now don't try this with a tailor." And I thought, boy, I'm famous.
Now you have 3 bananas, but these are small. I think we could add more.
I'm just going to push them right in. I need a spatula. I forgot bananas are round. But just right into the machine. And more. Nothing says great flavor like fresh fruit. And like the 6-year-old said, don't try this with any other machine. Oh, he's got them. Okay. Now, Jeff was chastising me a few minutes ago. Why didn't you buy bananas that are all black and speckled? Because I couldn't get any. When bananas are no longer saleable because they're all ugly and mushy is when they're at their highest sugar content. They are the very best for ice cream. They look awful, but they taste great. And I thought I was so smart. I told that story once to a crowd and said, you know, I'm so smart that I go into the green grocer and I tell them, listen, you can't sell these bananas, so I'm going to buy them from you for half price. And my friend Gary Friselli up in Chelmsford, Mass., Gary's Ice Cream, Gary emails me and says, well, you may think you're smart, but I go into the green grocer and I say, you see those blackened bananas over there? You can't sell them. You're going to throw them in your dumpster. They're going to take up room in your dumpster, which is going to cost you money. I'm going to take them off your hands for free. You're lucky I'm not charging you. I go, okay, you win. Okay, so everybody's in there, the whole gang. Any questions? Okay, vanilla. Vanilla, I go way back. So back in the 70s, we had a coffee crisis. Colombia, which was the main place for coffee, they're not anymore, declared that they had had a bad crop, that the weather was terrible. Nobody on the weather forecasters could find bad weather in Colombia. But we're going to have to triple the cost of coffee. And they did. And coffee went through the roof. Americans reacted by not buying Colombian coffee. In fact, what we did is we did a Louisiana thing and added chicory to the coffee. So you could buy Maxwell House coffee or any of the others, chock full of nuts, and on the can it would say coffee and chicory. And it was pretty good. And so the coffee sales dropped so dramatically because the Colombians thought, well, you know, these Americans, they'll pay anything. They want their coffee. Well, the sale of Colombian coffee went down so badly, all of a sudden the weather got better and the price of coffee beans dropped. Well, in the last 3 years, the same thing has happened with vanilla. Over in Madagascar and in Mexico and other places, they've all kind of decided that, gee, we had some terrible monsoons and the weather has gotten was so awful that the orchids aren't growing. We can't pick the vanilla beans. And now vanilla, which used to be about $50 a gallon, is $650. That's a lot. A vanilla ice cream used to be your cheapest ice cream. Now it's your most expensive. So a company that I like a lot, Lockhead, who specializes in vanilla, has the $600 vanilla. I've had to lock it away because Jeff loves to use it. But they have a new price, and that's called Pure Vanilla. They have come out with a new vanilla, which is the same vanilla beans, but it's called, as written by the Food and Drug Administration, it's called All Natural. And it's flavor number 103A, but it's an all-natural two-fold vanilla. Two-fold just means it's twice as strong. So you should have to use half as much. If they were making this batch, their recipe coming from them would be about 3/4 of an ounce of vanilla. Jeff just poured in somewhere around 4. He uses an ounce of vanilla.
Not mine.
Jeff, yeah, not his vanilla, uses an ounce per quart. which is pretty outrageous. But then again, his ice creams are really outrageous, and people talk about them. People talk about my ice cream, but they usually talk about the Sharknado that I made, which was there's a shark up there. You people can't see it in the camera. It was a great idea. It was a cherry Italian ice, blood red, blood. And it was when the Sharknado movies were popular. And for, you know how candy corn is pointed, looks just like shark teeth, and the shark teeth are just about that small. So I used candy corn for the shark teeth. Really exciting. And I told everybody, anybody wants the recipe, you're free to use it. And we tasted it, and it wasn't half bad. In fact, it was quite good. And then about a week or 2 or 3 weeks later, the phone calls come in, and they say, my customer broke his molar on that ice cream because those damn little candy corn turned into rocks, which I never saw coming. They were once you froze them, they were as hard as could be. So mistakes do happen, but hopefully not today. Any questions? Yes. Have I ever made sugar-free desserts in the ice cream?
Blasphemy.
Yeah, I have stories for everything. First, let's talk about ice cream and sugar-free. You can't make a sugar-free ice cream because the dairy product itself has sugar in it. Not cane sugar, but I don't know what the term is, so I'll call it cow sugar. Milk has got sugar in it naturally from the cow. So you can never make a sugar-free ice cream. You can make a no sugar added ice cream, which they sell. Breyers does a job on it. If you ever taste it, it's awful. So 15 years ago, I'm dating Paula, and with the intent to get her to marry me. And her father was New York Police Department, NYPD. How we looking?
We got time.
Okay. And
Keep talking.
so I figure I'm going to get the old man to like me. I better. He's got a gun. And so I would bring him some of my ice creams, high sugar cookies, the whole works. He wouldn't eat them. No, I only eat Breyers, no sugar added. Well, I can't compete with that. And then one day I'm watching him with his Breyers, no sugar added. He pulls it out of the freezer. He scoops out the Breyers, no sugar added, nice amount, puts it into a bowl, and then proceeds to go back into the refrigerator and pull out Hershey's butterscotch sauce and pour half the bottle all over it. So much for the no sugar added. He's just poured all that sugary Hershey syrup. So the best you could do is no sugar added, and why bother? Because we're not selling a dietetic product. We're selling a frozen dessert. Come back and see me when you're off your diet. That's the concept. I mean, if you're running a steakhouse, we're not going to sell you, the cheapest cut. We're going to sell you something great. As far as Italian ice, it can be done. However, you have to use a modified sugar called maltodextrin. And maltodextrin it's a chemical. It has a nasty little habit of, if you buy a bag of chocolate cookies that are sugar-free and it says maltodextrin, it has little tiny writing that says, do not eat more than 1 or 2 of these at a time. Well, that's not going to stop me. I ate the whole bag. And I found out why it says that, because it gives you just incredibly bad diarrhea. Maltodextrin does. So you can sell maltodextrin-made Italian ice, but your customers aren't ever coming back. So take my attitude. I'm glad you're on a diet, but when you break a diet, you're not going to go out and say, I haven't had beef in 6 months, I'm going to go get a McDonald's Big Mac. No, you're going to Ruth Chris, and you're going to get yourself a real good the 16-ounce filet mignon, half the cow. So that's what we're selling. What is your opinion?
I don't sell it.
No, because you're selling the treat.
High calorie, high fat ice cream.
Yeah, which has its place.
It's dessert.
Yes. We're going to make that after lunch. I'm going to make a coconut-based ice cream, which used to be called vegan, but I contend that vegan doesn't sell. Vegan sounds like an 89-year-old man who weighs 88 pounds, and you just want to buy him a steak because he looks so awful. When my father hit 97, my mother was deciding that he should be like Ruth in the Bible and live to 140. So she started feeding him lettuce leaves and stuff like that. And in the meantime, he's got his stash of cookies and candies and Hershey bars down in the trunk of his car in the retirement community. And he'd go like this. He'd say, Evelyn, I got to go down to my car. I can't find my glasses. Ted, they're on top of your head. Oh, no, those are the wrong ones. I got to go down to the car. So when my sister and I took his car away from him so he wouldn't drive into the Bronx from Connecticut, he wasn't mad at me for stealing the car. He was mad that I took his stash of stuff. But nowadays, we can do coconuts and just a wonderful product. You'll see. So we don't call it vegan, we call it dairy-free. Yes.
Okay.
Now, am I going to just throw these in whole or break them?
Well, I broke most of them.
Oh, okay. So here we go. If you can see that on the camera, we're going to just throw in some cookies as Jeff brings it out, and I have to be as fast as him. Now, you can do this yourself. You don't need two people. You would actually stop cut off the flow and just stir it a little bit.
Yeah, squeeze and break them, that's it. This is going to be very creamy because of the cream cheese.
Okay, that sounds good. And you saw how all that came out in about 30 seconds. That's what we're aiming for when we make ice cream. It's not good to take 2 or 3 minutes. Now, I poured the cookie dust in there. If this was Oreo cookie ice cream, I wouldn't pour the cookie dust in because everybody from New York would know it's dirt. Right? Of course it is. Or cigarette ash. So, but the vanilla wafers, you can get away with it. And that's it. Come on up and try it. Anybody getting sick of eating ice cream yet? You will.
Okay, spread some of these out.
Oh, Mr. Spencer, this is good.
Yep.
Whoa. The banana taste is great.
I had to get up for the banana.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's good.
The
It's
other
got
ones I
a
can live without. This one.
it's got a
Sorry.
good flavor.
The cream cheese makes it. I want to start to put cream cheese in.
I've never done that before.
Got to be good.
Wow. And it didn't take much.
No, 1 bar.
In your batch, it would be 4 bars.
Yeah.
Jack, you want to try this?
I'm holding out for the key line.
Oh no, you really should try this. Come on.
Hey,
now.
he's holding up for the key lime.
Our control board operator is Jack. He's hiding in that back room, pushing all the dials and everything. He makes Jeff look younger and me thinner.
I know.
That was a small portion. You need more than that.
He wants small portions.
Mountain chocolate chip, you didn't add any sugar to that because it was already in the base. Would you consider that a no sugar added product?
No. We only added sugar to this because the person who made it said it tends to freeze up in the freezer if you don't add a little more sugar. It could be his mix. I don't know. I'd have to try it without it, but I like the taste of this. What do you think, Giselle? Good? Good. That's the cream. Oh, boy. It's as quiet as if everybody's
It's a
having
winner.
dinner. Good.
Bananas in it are nice.
Bananas are great. And imagine if they were more ripe, they'd be even better.